So today we're at the Titan Missile Museum. So we'll go through this museum over here. I'll give you guys a couple shots in there. Hopefully you'll let me videotape inside of it. This museum is outside of Tucson, Arizona. It's in a place called Green Valley, Morenci County. So that's where we're at. And I'll see you guys inside.
We're walking around it. But that is a silo cover door. When this was an active site, that door would have been shut, protecting the missile that was inside of there from a near-miss nuclear attack. That door, it weighs 760 tons.
Oh my goodness.
And it was designed to slide open horizontally on 2 tracks, and it would have only taken 19 seconds to fully open so the missile could launch out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a huge marvel feat of construction engineering for its time.
Oh yeah.
Right to the bottom there,
Yeah.
to make a second phone call.
Oh wow.
If they didn't make the second phone call in 3 minutes, the crew downstairs, they wouldn't buzz them in. They wouldn't electronically unlock the door. And then they were going to get in touch with security to see, hey, this crew is taking too long, come and check it out.
Okay.
They wouldn't unlock the door, no exceptions. Even if they made it, hey, something happened, nope,
Yeah,
security would have
I
to
fell, twist my ankle, it didn't matter.
Yeah, because they would think that somebody,
don't trip on your
somebody
way.
was trying to make them say that. All right, so right down this way, because that's
I
can
can
kind of take you through it.
Walk through?
Yep. And then so you guys can just stand at the top.
Okay. Just wait for her, she will come.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, just shut that door behind you. I'd like, no, wait. I want you to go back up there. It's going to make more sense. All right, so the crew would be in here. That door was locked. They couldn't go back out. This gate was locked.
Man lock.
Yeah, entrapment area. And the only camera they had in the facility was pointed right there.
Okay.
That's so the crew downstairs, they can make sure nobody was trying to coerce their way in here before they unlock this gate, all right?
Okay.
To get it unlocked, the commander had to read off a secret access code that was issued to them in their briefing at the base that morning. That would verify that that crew was supposed to be at this site that morning, right?
Right.
Because it's not like they necessarily knew each day's schedule or anything like that. So after they provided the verification, they had to get rid of the piece of paper. So they would hold it up,
Oh, look at
set it on
that.
fire, and drop it right
In
into
the
that
little
burner.
fire thing.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
And, yep, so pretty high tech. Yeah.
She's walking slow. So we're walking down.
And when this was active, the stairs were different.
Yeah, I bet.
They were just steel plated, so we could see all the way through. Yeah, this would have actually been,
ran down on them.
yeah, they would be able to see all the way to the top through.
Oh, wow.
Because they were just great steel.
Yeah, that's good.
We just did that for people so they don't slip. They would have been locked, all right? So
Right.
to get it open, the commander was going to pick up this phone here. This time it was to tell the crew in the control center to press an open button, but at the very same time, they had to press open on this device right here. That simultaneous push, it would retract these steel pins, and then whichever crew member had the most Wheaties could then tug the door open.
Jasmine.
Handle there.
Look at her go.
There you go. And then push it back, yeah.
Yeah.
So really, really well balanced hinges.
Yeah.
Really good.
We're walking through.
So,
That's
question for, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
There is obviously, and I'm, just so you know, by trade, I'm a property manager, so I look at all this stuff. Did they do their own maintenance while on duty?
I'm gonna talk about it.
Okay.
He's like, leave me alone. I don't talk about that.
No, I'm gonna talk about it.
Look at this.
Wow.
I'm gonna get to it, so.
Whoa.
Alright, well, yeah, so I guess it's just you two, so. How about you be the commander?
Okay.
Going to the crew quarters. That's the control room. We'll be back there in a minute.
You have to imagine that they got used to it, but I think when you first come to this command, you get a little nerve-wracked. Like, Wow. So
That's
4
really-
men to a crew.
Yeah. Look at that.
Interesting.
That's where they slept.
Yeah, and you can see the top, it's dome shaped.
Yeah.
Reflect.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah.
Is that rubber?
Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about.
Oh yeah. We're asking questions you already know.
Yeah. No, it's all right. It's all right. I just have a thing in my
There's a-
head. So. All right. So yeah. Very basic kitchen. They had a little study desk back there. A lot of them were enrolled for degree programs.
Okay.
But yeah,
Oh my God.
not much to
It's
it.
like a little old TV.
Yeah,
Ah,
that was part of the museum.
relics of the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phone box.
That was from the museum. But,
It's funny.
all right, but yeah, you don't see
Wow.
many yellow pages anymore.
No.
Right?
Look at that can
But
open.
yeah, look at that. That was a very useful piece of equipment they had right
That
there.
coffee, yeah.
A giant coffee maker.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
An
So
old giant
so-
percolator.
the crew, they could take their 4-hour rest period up here. all
Okay.
right? And maybe they would come up here just to get away from the other crew members for a little bit. Because up here they could be by themselves.
Got it.
Nobody could be in that control room we were just in and be alone. And one of the commanding officers had to be in that room at all times. All right?
Oh.
So they can buddy up, take their break together. Now, yeah, with that rubber you were talking about,
Yeah,
you
right.
can see right here,
Mm-hmm.
the floors, they're not attached to the exterior walls. Everything is shock isolated. When we go back into the control
that
center,
makes
you're going to see
sense.
these
Yeah.
8 massive springs surrounding this room.
Okay.
If it was crew or a piece of equipment that was
Mhm.
mission critical to the missile being launched, it's suspended. And not only for natural disasters, earthquakes, but that near miss,
Mm-hmm.
it would cause the whole ground here to shake up and down.
It's
So
all
the
the shit.
idea was shock isolated, so it would still
Makes
survive to be able to be used to retaliate.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, that's pretty much commander, deputy commander, both
Okay.
armed. All right, and you were the only armed personnel allowed to be in this room.
Wow.
But you carried sidearms for security. Also in that red emergency war order safe, there were top secret documents that they needed to guard at all times.
Okay.
So the other two, oh yeah, and there were females working down
There
here.
were?
Yeah, after 1978.
Okay.
And after
Good.
Congress occurred, and this was considered a combat position, so this
Okay.
was one of the very first combat positions a female could take.
Interesting.
If you wanted to slide, you'll have to.
Oh no, if I just,
All right.
I'm just curious.
So the other two that worked down here, they were enlisted. The first one would be using these panels here to oversee the heating, the plumbing, and the
Okay.
cooling systems, and the facilities.
So they were the maintenance aspect.
Missiles facility type.
Missiles,
issue.
okay.
Yeah. So if something was going wrong, the missile it had to stay right around 60 degrees Fahrenheit at all times.
Ah, okay.
If it wasn't at 60 degrees, that would be problematic. So
Okay.
to do the cooling, they use chillers, chilled water,
Mhm.
and they also use that to keep these 3 levels under control.
Nice,
as well.
okay.
So all that water, all that equipment, if something was going wrong, a light would light up on the panel. And that would be an indicator that there was a maintenance issue, but then they would have asked the deputy to call in a maintenance project. Because the deputy was in charge of all external communications.
Okay.
So all the check-ins, check-outs, and you were the safety officer. So if that NIMS unit came here to work on the missile, you would have to grab a grease pencil and mark their location using this locator.
Oh wow.
Because you had to know where to find them. And it's a big place.
Okay.
We're on
Interesting.
level 2. We're 35 feet below ground already.
Oh, wow.
We're going to see the missile from level 2, but there are 9 levels to the missile site.
Oh, wow.
From top to bottom, it's 150 feet deep, complicated network of systems. So if somebody got lost or hurt, you would
Yeah.
want to know where to find
Right.
them, right? All right, now the other enlisted would be on all of these panels going this way. They were known as the BMAT, Ballistic Missiles Analyst Technician. They were using this to oversee the electrical of the missile itself, because that was separate, and the guidance and targeting systems. Right?
Okay.
The guidance system needed the missile to have its electricity.
Yes.
The Titan IIs, they used what was called an inertial measuring unit for guidance. It was all internal. So the way it worked is there were gyroscopes inside of that unit that had to continuously rotate and stay neutralized to north. The
Constant
missile-
flow of electricity.
Yeah, always, yeah,
Okay.
the missile always had to know it was here to know where its target was.
Okay.
And how it would know where its target was this right here. Computer punch rate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so.
Oh my god.
Trying to get it on your GoPro there. right?
Yeah,
So-
I'm with the GoPro.
Yeah.
That's
So-
Oh
the
my god, that
that
is
the-
so cool.
Yeah.
That's the crypto tape.
So what that did is it stored 3 predetermined target locations for this missile.
Oh.
Or for 3 targets could be held on 2 reels of tape, right? So yeah,
Oh my god,
that's how that
cool.
worked. And then at time of launch, basically this would fire up and transmit that target to the missile, right?
Okay.
All right, so yeah, go ahead and sit back down. So while the commander, had to make sure the whole facility operated like a well-oiled machine. The other thing is, you had to make sure your crew, if they were in here, they were alert.
Oh, I can see, yeah. Because are you 24-hour shifts?
With a 4-hour rest
Yeah.
period.
Okay.
So in downtime, you encourage that crew to study, right? Play games, cards, smoke cigarettes. They can smoke down here.
Oh, wow,
Yeah. And video games. Because when they were invented, the Air Force, they bought all the Titan II silos, a Pong system when they came along, right?
That works.
So that's the old television over there. Yeah, that's like
Oh, wow.
70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was left here.
Huh.
Now the other thing is, systems checks.
Okay.
Because everything you see in here, it's useless if it didn't work correctly in nuclear war, right? So they wanted to make sure that this missile was always capable of launching and reaching one of these right here. Now what's selected in the center?
Target 2.
All right, so target 2 is short. Any guesses? Yeah.
We don't know.
I don't know.
Did they
either.
know?
No.
They did not.
No, they didn't.
They were just told target 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Target 1,
Interesting.
target 2, and target 3 is all they were.
They don't know where it's
And
going.
all they knew was somewhere in the Soviet Union. And the reason for it was psychological.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's a lot easier to aim something if you don't know what's
Sure.
Yep.
psychologically. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now the only time a launch order would come through here is if we were under attack. So a nuclear attack would be on its way towards North America. NORAD is tasked with handling that detection using radar. Right. Now from detection, it would quickly get reported to the president because the president, commander-in-chief, is the only one who can authorize the use of a nuclear weapon. So they would have to open up a case they have carried around at all times, nicknamed the nuclear phone. Inside of there were launch codes. Codes they would have to pass off to the Pentagon. The Pentagon would authenticate, validate, add some more information, and then get those codes to Strategic Air Command. They were at Alpha Air Force Base in Omaha, Nebraska. They're at SAC. They would be responsible to contrive those codes into an emergency action message and disperse them via radio communications to the Titan II missiles, but also to the strategic bomber wings and to the submarines with ballistic nuclear weapons in them. Because if we're under attack with nuclear weapons, still today, we're prepared, armed, and ready from all angles that try that. Now,
Can I ask you a question about that?
sure.
What's the time frame though?
How
Seems
about I
like
tell
that-
you in a little
Okay.
bit? Yeah, there'll be a lot of that, because it'll just make more sense if we
Okay.
do one
Oh,
thing.
yeah, top secret
You
stuff
know,
now.
Yeah, top secret. Yeah, it's fine, you can open it. Just part of the show, all right? So, what I'm gonna play for you guys is a emergency action message. It's going to be a phonetically pronounced alphanumeric code. You can open it up. So as each letter of the word, or as each word came through, you guys would take that first letter and mark it in the appropriate slot. The number would be a digit as follows as follows. You guys, you don't have to write anything down. Right? So here we go. This is what it would be like. Clear as mud, right?
I
Yeah,
did not get the
it
last
is.
one.
Yeah,
Hotel.
I got all
Charlie.
of them.
It's Charlie.
What's the
C.
last one?
Oh,
The very last one after
Five.
hotel.
Charlie.
5 maybe? That's the best
It's
I can.
A, 2, 3,
C,
hotel.
H, but then,
Yeah.
5.
I don't know what the last one is, but-
Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways,
Anyhow,
so
yeah, clear as mud.
they had a lot of training, practice,
Yeah,
doing all that.
okay.
Now, I play 12 characters right now. If it was a launch order, it would be 41 characters.
Oh my God.
So, the
It's
two
like a
of
fire
you,
mission.
you guys would have to shut your book, trade it.
Okay.
And then
Verify.
the two of you, yeah, you'd have to
Yeah.
verify. that
And
you
you got the
are-
same exact
Yeah.
code.
I did 22 years in the Marine Corps, so I know.
Oh, okay, yeah, verify, verify.
Yeah.
Oh my
But then the
goodness.
other thing is, they had to agree that it was a launch order. Because that message, it did not only mean a launch order. It was an emergency action message. It could have been like a
EMC.
weather report, maybe a incident was taking place, or even a simulation like we're doing right now. But it also could have been a launch order. So yeah, that crew, they could have been bored down there. Now when that thing went off, all right, they would get a huge adrenaline rush. Now, if it was a launch order, then the two officers would have the authority to unlock the locks on that safe. Because every morning the officers came here to work, they brought their own combination lock with them. They owned it. All right? So they would come in, the two officers that were here on alert, they would take theirs off. The 4 of them would inventory the contents of that safe.
Okay.
Besides that, the lock stayed on. Because things they needed to launch the missile would happen.
Okay.
2 launch keys. 1 key the commander will pull out and put right here. Deputy, yours was going to go all the way over here.
Okay.
So, let me just make sure you know. So, 2 keys that were 7 feet away from each other, spring loaded, and they had to be turned at the same time.
Wow.
They did all that because they didn't want one person to be able to do it. Alright, Hollywood, they got that one wrong all the time. Nobody's slapping a button a fire good way.
No.
For a good reason, it always takes 2. Now the other thing they kept in that safe is, well, let's say that scratchy radio message, it was compromised. Perhaps somebody hacked in. Or somebody went corrupt and they had a really bad day, they were just trying to start World War III. So in that safe they kept 24 of these plastic cookie cards. The way they would know which one was correct is that these 2 letters here would have to match 2 letters that came very early on in that message. So they would pull it out, break it open, and in that envelope was a piece of paper with a 2-factor verification code. This would have to match with part of that message, and then they would know
It was
it's
real.
valid.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a valid launch order. Now, that code, there's a code in there where it's set to, yeah, do Greenwich Mean Time. All military operations, they can synchronize their times using that clock.
Okay.
And in a nuclear war, you want that. Because nobody in here would have to worry about DC time, Nebraska, daylight saving. Yeah. Take care, turn your keys. Oh, I got it.
I was going to say, I was counting
Yeah,
it.
it's all, I'll get it. Yeah, analog, I got it. Wind it up. All right, so the
That was
other
my
thing-
next question. I didn't know.
the other thing they needed is to unlock the missile. It had a lock on it. But it took a combination that none of the crew knew ahead of time. And they didn't even keep that combination in the safe over there. As a fail-safe, the Pentagon would have had that code. They would have passed it on in this message. 6 characters that were alphabetical would have been given for the commander to order the BMET to step over here, dial those 6 in. They would read it back because this unit, it had 17 million possible combinations. But the other thing about it, it's not like any corruption could take place, anybody could get in here and try and guess it. Because it only had 7 attempts before it was locked up. Alright? Now when they put it in and unlocked it, what that means is on the Titan II missile were 4 of these valves that were locked. They were keeping the liquid fuel and the oxidizer from mixing together and igniting the engines. When they put their combination in, all it would do is unlock the valve. But it was still in this neutral state, but unlocked, so at that key turn, then they would open. Those chemicals, they can mix together
Nice.
and ignite
Interesting.
engines. Yeah, hypergolic reactions. So yeah, it was locked.
Okay.
So there you have it. That's everything you need to launch a Titan II.
That's a lot.
The crews that worked in here, you were asking about time frame, they had all that down to 3 minutes. 3 minutes to write it out, pass their books, verify, get into the safe, crack the code, put their combination.
But it just seems like
She's talking
there's
about
a long time
president.
No, yeah,
from
so,
NORAD
yeah,
to
okay.
them even getting this, and then there's 3 minutes.
I get it, yeah.
That Nuke could already be here.
I get it, but that's why these were hardened, survivable for those
Okay.
two survivors.
So if we got hit anyway, we, you know, it wouldn't have.
And we had 54 of them, and the subs, and the air bombers. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the terms of this. It's not just counting on
Yeah.
10 missiles to take care of it. You know, you got 54 of them with the huge bombs on them.
Yeah.
And all the air bombing and all this stuff. But the other thing though is the Titan II here, when you guys turn these keys, what's going to happen is a 58-second launch sequence is going to light up right on the top of it. Once the keys are turned, it only takes 58 seconds for the missile. Got it all.
Oh my gosh.
It's trained up. All right,
Okay.
so Commander, you'll do the countdown from 3 to 0. You guys will go to your right all the way and hold them until I tell you to let go.
Okay.
After you.
All right.
Countdown.
Countdown. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Turn. Keep moving. All right, you guys can sit back, relax, and done your duty. So launch enable
Nuclear bombs going.
to let them know that code it was entered correctly. All right.
Okay.
The other thing is battery activated. The Titan II it had 2 dry batteries that were not charged ahead of time. An electric knife would slice a bladder bag, forcing electrolytes into those batteries to charge them in 28 seconds.
Jeez.
Wow.
To give the missile and the guidance the 28 volts of power would need to operate on its own accessory.
While
functions.
not having the batteries be replaced all the time.
So,
Genius.
that lit, batteries are powered, right? So now we're gonna hear that bell.
Oh, there it is.
Silo door is opening. All right,
Okay.
so silo soft, missile's not protected, but it would be able to exit and launch out.
Guidance is
go
ready.
lit up. Missile knows where it is, where it needs to go. A very loud klaxon fire alarm. Fire engine, the engines were lit.
And we lift it off.
And that's
We
it.
just launched a nuclear weapon, honey.
Yeah, and it would have been gone.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
the other thing is, there was no turning back.
No.
There was no off
No.
switch. There was no way to reverse that
Yeah.
process. And the Titan II, it would soon be traveling, reaching a speed close to 16,000 miles per hour, 20 times the speed of sound, capable of getting to a target that was 6,300 miles away in only 35 minutes. But the other thing is, if that crew turned those keys, they would have assumed they were already in the air. Everybody they love, everything they love, they cared for, they adored, it's gone. Or at least changed. So, Commander, Deputy Commander,
All right.
what'd you guys just do? What did it say at the bottom there?
I turned the launch key.
Yeah, that's all that.
And it took 2 minutes and 23 seconds down here. What do you think so far?
I think this
Keep on going.
is just incredible to know that there were young men down here
We
protecting
came
the
that way.
United States.
Wow. And each of these doors closed. These are suits they wore to work on the missile. That's freaking cool.
The Titan II rocket fuel handlers equipment. These rocket fuel handler coveralls were worn by the Air Force propellant transfer system technicians in the 60s to the 80s.
Look how dark it is back there. You can't even see back there now.
Yeah.
Wow.
About 9,000 gallons of water would pool up there before the engines were ignited. Because water and fire is
Yeah.
going to make steam. And steam, the amount of energy to make that, it would steal energy that would turn into sound vibration, shaking, and all.
Interesting.
And they shaped the bottom like a W to deflect, right? Going up the walls of the silo were these exhaust shafts that led to surface. So when the door opened up, it would open up 2 huge vents on the side to vent all the steam, gas, heat away from the missile.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how they got it out in one piece. All the testing happened at Vandenberg Air Force Base off the coast of California.
We went right by that. It's
Yeah,
the Space Force base now.
Yeah, it's a Space Force base now. 4 silos were built. They sent 49 test launches to out near the Marshall Islands. And they were 87% successful, reaching targets within a mile.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so pretty good.
At the Titan Missile Museum. We are headed to Bisbee, but before that, we'll show you another short video later on Saguaro National Park. You can see some saguaros. They're huge, so I hope you like it, and I'll see you next week.